Hi students, this class will be learning about psychrometry. Basically, psychrometry is a science which deals with moist air. So, moist air means air containing water vapor. An air is having water vapor, it is called moist air. Moisture, the air is called moist air. So, why we are studying this? Because moist air is a mixture of water vapor and air. We have already learned that. Now, air conditioning basically deals with four properties. So, first one is temperature. So, for any comfort condition of humans, the temperature should be around 23 to 27 degrees centigrade. This temperature range, the temperature should be there. And also the humidity. Humidity is nothing but moisture content in the air should also be in a range approximately 45 to 60% of humidity should be there. The air distribution should be equivalent throughout the air conditioned space. Say if there is a large room of this volume and AC ducts are here. Okay, air conditioning ducts are here, so conditioned air will come like this. We have to distribute the air such a way that even the human at this corner should feel comfortable. That is what air distribution refers to. Finally, the air which we are supplying should be as pure as possible. These two can be easily obtained by designing the ducts in an efficient way, and this can be obtained in a by using air filters throughout the duct system. Whereas coming to this temperature and humidity, these two will be depending on the outside atmospheric condition. Depending on the conditions, we may have to, in some countries the temperature may reach 40. In that case, we have to reduce the temperature to this range. If the outside temperature is like 5 degrees, we have to heat the air to reach this temperature. Similarly, moisture also should be controlled. Say in Hyderabad, say if you consider Hyderabad, the humidity will be less. That means it will be around 30% to 40%. Whereas we consider our Vizag, will be around 90%. In this case, we have to reduce the moisture. In this case, we have to add the moisture. So these two will depending on the atmospheric condition. So in this chapter, psychrometry refers to these both. So basically, we will deal with moisture. So first we will learn about dry air and moist air. If there is a air, say of volume 1 meter cube, there is no water vapor contained in this air, then this is called dry air. If there is water vapor or moisture inside this, then it is called moist air. The atmospheric air free from moisture is called dry air. That contains water vapor is called moist air. So moist air is short for moisture air. This shortly called as moist air. So the science dealing with properties of moist air is called psychrometry. So the psychrometry, the science dealing with these properties, how these properties are changed depending on the temperature and humidity, that we will study in this chapter. So coming to the psychrometric terms, humidity refers to the water vapor or moisture present in the moist air. In general, the atmospheric air always contains moisture and hence it is always called as moist air. But if you take 1 meter cube of air, inside this there will be certain amount of water vapor. So the remaining air, so this is humidity or moisture, and the remaining air is called dry air, because we have separately we are dealing with humidity. Remaining air is called dry. Absolute humidity is the amount of water vapor per unit volume. That means if you measure this humidity in kgs or grams, the absolute humidity will be kg per meter cube. That is absolute humidity. Next important property is specific humidity. So in specific humidity, it is the amount of water vapor in the moist air per unit mass of dry air. So we will consider the same 1 meter cube air. So we are considering 1 meter cube of air. Inside this there will be air, at the same time there will be some moisture or humidity. If you consider this mass of water vapor and the remaining mass of air, then this ratio omega is equal to mass of water vapor in the moist air by mass of dry air in the same moist air. So total mass will be equal to mass of water vapor plus mass of air. The unit for this specific humidity is kg per kg of dry air, or gram per kg of dry air. These both we can use. So we'll try to derive the formula for specific humidity. Here mass of water vapor and mass of air. We will consider these water vapor and air as ideal gases. Then what happens is we will apply the characteristic gas equation, which is PV is equal to MRT. Then it will become P of water vapor multiplied by volume of water vapor by R of water vapor, temperature of water vapor, by pressure of air, volume of air by R of air, and temperature of air. So if you consider this, the volume of water vapor is total volume. It occupies total volume. So volume of air is equal to volume of water vapor, and also both are at same temperature. So temperatures also cancels out. So it becomes PV by PA into RA by RB. Here we know that characteristic gas constant of air is equal to 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin, whereas for water vapor it will be equal to, we don't know that, so we will calculate it by using universal gas constant by molecular weight, which is 8.314 by molecular weight is for water H2O 2 plus 16, 18. So 8.314 by 18, which is equal to 0.462. So that we will substitute here. So RA is 0.287 by 0.462 into PV by PA. So this becomes 0.622 into PV by, so here pressure of air. So I have said that the total mass is equal to mass of vapor plus mass of air. Similarly, by using Dalton's law of partial pressure, total pressure P is equal to PA plus P. From this, you can write PA is equal to P minus P. So substituting that, it become P minus P. So this is the formula for specific humidity. Specific humidity omega is equal to 0.622 PV by P minus PV. Here PV is the partial pressure of water vapor in the air. So next term is a relative humidity. Generally, whenever you see a weather app or observe the weather conditions, generally it will be referred like this: the temperature is 40 degrees and the relative humidity, or simply humidity is 90%. Whatever the percentage we are telling, it is always a relative humidity. Relative means compared to another case. Here relative humidity is defined by letter phi. It is the ratio of actual mass of moisture in a given volume to the mass of moisture when the same volume is saturated at same pressure. So I will take another same 1 meter cube of volume. I have taken it from atmosphere. So it will have already some water vapor. That mass is m into v. So this is the ratio when, and here to the mass of moisture when the same volume is saturated. So what I will do is, I will continuously spray some water in this same volume. So what happens? It will try to absorb this water vapor, water, and convert it to water vapor. So the moisture content in this air will increase randomly. So at a point, the air will be saturated so that it cannot absorb any further water molecule. So at that point, if you measure the mass of this water vapor, that will be ms, mass of moisture when the same volume is saturated. The temperature here is same, initial condition temperature is same and final condition temperature is same. So phi is equal to mv by ms. So if you apply the characteristic gas constant similar to previous case, so PV by RT is equal to mass. PS Vs by Rs Ts. Here we are comparing only water vapor. Here it is given water vapor, it is saturated water vapor. Remaining all are same. Volume is same. We didn't change the volume of air. So Vv and Vs is cancelled out. Temperature is same at same temperature. So temperatures cancel out. Here R is also cancelled out because it is water vapor only. So finally, phi can be written as PV by Ps. This is the formula for relative humidity. Here Ps, this is the pressure we have to calculate from, or we have to note down from steam tables. In steam tables, there will be tables called as saturated temperature tables. If the air temperature is given as 25 degrees centigrade, at 25 degrees centigrade Tg, there will be P saturated pressure. That pressure, whatever the pressure is there, that will be the saturated pressure used in this formula PS. Okay, coming to the next term which we will use in this psychrometry is degree of saturation. So degree of saturation is generally denoted with mu. So here mu is equal to mass of water vapor at a given temperature m associated with unit mass of dry air, that means m by ma by to the mass of water vapor associated with unit mass of saturated air. So here the mass is saturated and it is associated with same dry air. So this can be written as omega by omega s. So omega is the specific humidity of given air and this omega s is specific humidity of saturated air at same temperature. So if you write the formula for this 0.622 into PV by P minus PV by 0.622 PV by PS by P minus PS. So after cancellation it will become PV by PS multiplied by P minus PS by P minus P. This is the formula for degree of saturation and this can be almost equal to 5. Generally P will be 1 bar or 100 kilopascals and this will be 2 kilopascals like that, and this may vary like 1 kilopascals. So this is almost neglected and PV by PS is the formula for relative humidity. That is why degree of saturation is not much used, only relative humidity and specific humidity are very much used to study the psychrometric properties. Next, coming to the temperatures, in general, if you take the volume of air which we are assuming in the previous cases, this mass is not easy to measure. Cannot measure this water vapor mass. So for that there is another term called as wet bulb temperature. There are three types of temperature we will study in this air conditioning. One is dry bulb temperature, second one is wet bulb, and third one is dew point temperature. These two can be measured using a psychrometer. That instrument is called psychrometer, which we will see in this next slide. In psychrometer there are two thermometers. One is ordinary thermometer and another one is thermometer with a wetted wick, or it can be a cotton also, wick or cotton. So here what happens is dry bulb temperature is ordinary, measured by ordinary thermometer. Why it is called dry bulb? Because if you observe a thermometer, at the end there will be a bulb in which mercury is filled. If this bulb is open or dry condition, then it is called dry bulb temperature. That is why measured by ordinary thermometer. Say suppose I have wound it with a wetted cloth, then what happens is the temperature will be less than dry bulb temperature. Why? Because say suppose you are facing say suppose you are sitting under a fan. So this fan air will come and hit your face. and you will feel somewhat cool. If take a wet cloth and rub it on your face, then what happens is this your face will become wet. And similarly sit in this same under the same fan, then you will feel a cooling of your surface. This is because whenever water evaporates from your face, it will absorb heat from your face. That is why you will feel a cooling effect. Similarly, here also, whenever the water is evaporating from this wick, there is a decrease in temperature of this bulb. That is why always wet bulb temperature is less than dry bulb temperature. And the difference between dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature is called wet bulb depression. Okay, and the next one is dew point temperature. In dew point temperature, if you say I am taking this 1 meter cube of volume having moisture, if I cool this temperature of this air, what happens is this water vapor which is there will begin to condense. So if you keep a glass of chilled water outside the atmosphere, what happens is here the water vapor begins to condense around this glass. This is because the air around this glass is getting cooled and the water vapor in that air will begin to condense. Similarly, if you cool the total volume of air here, the water vapor in the air will begin to condense. That is what happens in the morning of winter season. In morning of winter season, what happens? There is a formation of fog, right? Fog is basically because the temperature of the air is decreasing due to absence of sunlight. That is why the moisture content in the air will begin to condense or liquid droplets begin to appear. The temperature at which it starts, the temperature is called dew point. The condensing fog is called dew. The temperature is called dew point temperature. These three are the temperatures which we will incur in psychrometer. There are various types of psychrometers, out of which sling psychrometer and aspirating psychrometer used in R&D lab, and these two are generally used in meteorological department, IMD. Okay, so continuous recording psychrometer continuously measure the dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature. Laboratory psychrometer is also similar type but more precise for better study. So coming to the sling psychrometer, there will be a handle like this, and there will be a board containing two thermometers, this one and this one. One thermometer is not covered with wick, that is dry bulb thermometer, and another one is covered with a wick, wetted wick, so that is wet bulb thermometer. Using this handle, we will try to rotate this scale. Then after some time there will be evaporation from this wetted wick, and this wet bulb will be cooler than this dry bulb, and you can measure the dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature from this sling psychrometer. This is how a sling psychrometer looks like. So next one is aspirating psychrometer. Aspirating psychrometer contains a fan. Instead of rotating this whole psychrometer, here we will be provided with a fan at the top of the psychrometer, and there will be two sections, one with dry bulb and the other one with wet bulb. So this fan will suck air in this direction. So air coming into this cyclometer, this dry bulb will measure the dry bulb temperature, and wetted wick, in the wetted wick water will be evaporated and this wet bulb will be measure a temperature less than dry bulb temperature, and here our wet bulb temperature will be measured. So now we will try to solve simple problem on whatever we have learned in this class. So here given is the dry bulb temperature is 30 degrees. So dBT is given as 30 degrees centigrade, and humidity ratio is omega. Omega is given as 15 grams per kg of air, or if we convert this into kg, 0.015 kg per kg of dry air. So the formula for humidity ratio or specific humidity is 0.622 PV by P minus PV. So here we don't know the partial pressure of vapor, but we can assume that the pressure of the air is 1 bar or 1 atmosphere. We can assume the pressure of air as 1 bar. Generally atmospheric air will be approximately 1 bar. That we will assume. So, and we will substitute that here. So omega is given as 0.015, it is equal to 0.622 into PV by P minus P. Always try to solve this by dividing numerator and denominator with PV, so that becomes 1 P by PV minus 1. This is equal to 0.01. From this, P by PV will be equal to 42.46. So from this, PV is equal to 42. 0.0235 bar. Now partial pressure of water vapor we have obtained. Now we have to calculate relative humidity. Relative humidity phi is equal to PV by PS. So PS is saturated pressure at 30 degrees centigrade. That we have to obtain from steam tables. So here if you observe, we have to see saturated water and steam at of temperature based table or saturated temperature steam table. At 30 degrees centigrade, the saturated pressure is 0.4247. Here saturated pressure, you observe here at the temperature corresponding saturated pressure is 0.004247. We will go and submit there. So PS is equal to 0.042447. So substitute that here, 0.0235 by 0.042. From this we can get the relative humidity as 55.33%. This is how we can do the problem on supplementary. You have to remember that you have to take steam tables during the exam. Compulsory you have to take your steam tables along with you. We will solve another problem. Here the problem is air in a room is at 35 degrees centigrade and 60% RH. The pressure in the room is 0.1 MPa. Find the humidity ratio. So here dBTR is given as 35 degrees centigrade and RH is 60%. The pressure is 0.1 MPa 1 bar. We have to find omega, humidity ratio. So omega formula is 622 PV by P minus PV. So here PV is given. We have to find PV first. So we know that phi or RH is equal to PV by PS. So if you take PS at 35 degrees centigrade, PS at 35 degrees centigrade, then you can find the at 35 the saturation pressure is 0.005629. MPa. So which is equal to 0.05629 bar. So in the steam tables I am using, it is given in megapascals, that is why I have converted into bar. Now PV is equal to 0.6 multiplied by 0.056, which will be 0.033774. So if you substitute this value here, you will get the specific humidity. So omega is equal to 0.02174 kg per kg of dry air. This is how we will calculate the psychrometric properties using the above formula. Okay. In the next class, we will see what are the different psychrometric processes, and also we will see psychrometric chart. You can do the same problems which I have discussed here using a psychrometric chart, that we will discuss in the next class.